Hi, eBay sellers. It's Suzanne A. Wells, and it's that time again. What time? eBay SuperSize sales time. The sales in this video come from my Facebook group where we have a thread every month where sellers can post their sales of $100 or more. So to be eligible to be included in one of these videos, you must place your sale on this thread. I appreciate those of you who email me, but it's just too much email. It's just too overwhelming. So please join the Facebook group and put your sales on the monthly thread for the $100 sales. And in those posts, sellers show what they found, where they found it, how much they paid, and show us the completed sale. It's already happened. It's not what they think it might sell for. It's historical data. So if one person sold that thing for that much, another person could too. And one quick announcement. The 2022 calendars are ready and in my eBay store. The link is below the video, so if you haven't grabbed yours yet, just click that link and get your calendar today. We're going to have a lot of fun in 2022 and you don't want to miss out. Okay, getting into the $100 sales. We're going to start with Sherry Isaacs. Thank goodness she offered $100. I probably would have accepted $95 and then could not post here. Found this in a small thrift on sale for $15. Had it listed higher, $149, for about 3 months. Then ended and relisted and dropped the price to $125. Buyer lives 40 minutes away and asked if she could pick it up. I realized I had not checked the box for local pickup, so I went in and changed it. Happy collector, happy seller. This is a Russ Graff art sculpture. And that was probably a good call, Sherry, to hand deliver it because while you may be a shipping ninja, you didn't have to worry about it breaking during shipping. So again, the cost was $15 and she sold it for $100. Next up is Jen Cangelosi. Woohoo! Sneaking in on the last day of the month, meaning she posted it on November 30th. Paid $4 at Salvation Army. Took an offer for $100. Had it listed for 4 days. This is a gray Cotopaxi Alpa 28 day pack backpack. $4, sold for $100 in just 4 days. Julie Gambino, aka Dumpster Diving Grandma. Julie was on my podcast a few months ago and she gave herself that name because she started off getting things out of dumpsters. Anyway, she picked this up at an estate sale in a fill-a bag for $10, so cost was maybe $2. Sold in less than a couple of days for best offer of $100. And here's the thing, this is a doorstop. Vintage black iron, Virginia Metal Crafters horse doorstop. Whoever would have known a doorstop could sell for $100? And it only cost her around $2. Okay, Jody Clark paid $12.74 at Goodwill for this Christopher Radko UT, meaning University of Texas, Austin Cowboy Santa ornament. Sold in 2 days for best offer of $100. Wow. Goodwill does not catch everything. Paid $12, sold for $100. Tina DeVore took about a year to sell, but got it for $4.99 at Goodwill and sold on best offer of $100. Told the buyer had a matching bowl if interested, but she already had one. This is a 'Tis the Season goodie jar bowl with lid, Vicky Carroll hand painted. Now, this is something I would probably have passed on because it just looks like that chunky painted stuff Pier 1 used to sell. It doesn't look like it would be really expensive, but Vicky Carroll is the artist, so that's what made it expensive. She paid $5 and it sold for $100. Ginger Lamplight. I bought this at a garage sale a couple of months ago for $10. Sold for best offer of $104 plus shipping. Vintage, mid-century modern, Descoware, flame red, 3-quart bean pot cast iron enamel. That's a lot of keywords. $10 sold for $104. Tammy Mitchell. Purchased at a thrift store for $25. Sold in 4 weeks for $110 plus shipping. This is Frye, Frye brand handbag. And I probably would have picked this up too because Frye is a brand that's not going to be faked like Coach, Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Kate Spade, all of those kinds that are sold on street corners that are fake. Frye usually isn't. So $25 sold for $110. Lisa Wilbur paid $15 on Facebook Marketplace for these Danner Chukka boots. Yeah, raise your hand if you remember Chukka boots from the 70s and 80s. We called them desert boots, but they looked like this. These are Danner men's, size 10.5, well, 10 and a half. $15 sold for $110. And I included this one because I've been seeing that name pop up a few times recently, Danner, Danner. So if you are not familiar with that brand, do a little research so that you can recognize the logo and what types of products they make because they are profitable. Margie DeMolina paid $20 at Goodwill for vintage Disney Christmas animated decorations. Sold for $112.50 plus shipping in 3 weeks. I have a 10% coupon promotion now. Full price was $125, plus they paid over $63 in shipping. So you can see there, vintage Disney Mickey and Minnie Mouse animatronic Santa's Best Christmas 1997-1998. And she didn't say how tall these are. I'm pretty sure Margie watches my YouTube videos, so if you're watching, Margie, can you let us know how big these were? I'm guessing 2 or 3 feet tall if shipping was that much. Dawn McMaster paid maybe $2 in a large estate sale lot of vintage Christmas and sold for $112.50. Large vintage mercury glass colorful bells, 8 inches tall. So I guess these are ornaments. $2 sold for $112.50. Okay, we have a first timer here. Chris Molds. My first post on Super Sales. Congratulations, Chris. I knew you would make it. I've been working with Chris a little bit in the premium library, and she had a lot of questions, but she jumped right on the bandwagon and is doing great. She said, I bought a printer scanner at a garage sale for $10 from my neighbor, no disc, manual, or box. I was a little worried about shipping and did not post this immediately, thinking it might get damaged or returned. Buyer paid for priority mail instead of FedEx, making the shipping $95. She paid full asking price and it was listed for 3 weeks. So this is your basic Canon all-in-one wireless inkjet printer, $10 and sold for $114.99. And I just love showing sellers who have had their first sale of over $100 because that gives hope to everybody else who's never had one that you are going to get one. You just got to keep going. Okay, Lisa Corcoran has been away from eBay but is back now. She said she paid $1 at a thrift store for this 1980s piano sheet music book, a virtuoso level piano arrangement Christmas medley, out of print and sought after, sold in less than a month for $120. Dino Kartsanakis, and he has quite a following. She paid $1, sale price was $120. And Lisa is a pretty advanced pianist and still takes lessons, and she teaches her granddaughter, so she knows this niche. And this just goes to show that everybody has specialized knowledge in something. You just have to think about what that might be. She paid $1 for this and it sold for $120, and I wouldn't have known to pick this up because I don't play the piano. I don't know anything about this. So just keep that in mind if you think you don't have specialized knowledge, because you do. Next up is Tiffany Takao. Got for $1 at a high school fundraiser during the summer, maybe 3 months ago. Sold for $120 to Set Department in Long Island, New York. This is a lot of 163 used artist paintbrushes, various brands. Who knew? Everything has value on eBay, it seems. $1 sold for $120 for a bunch of used paintbrushes. Next up is Lisa Bambassi. Finally listed this from this summer's estate sale. Paid about $10 as an entire tote full was $30. Sold in a day. Vintage, shiny bright box of assorted mercury glass Christmas tree ornaments. $124.95. She only paid $10. Sherry Ogden bought for $10 at an online auction and sold in less than 24 hours for best offer of $130 plus shipping. I had help in identifying this gorgeous vase in one of my vintage Facebook groups and then realized there was a signature on the bottom. This is a vintage Val St. Lambert Belgium crystal swing vase, blue swirl, 1960s. Very mid-century modern looking, because it is. $10 sold for $130. Okay, next up is Stephanie Vaza. Our son is getting married next year, and my husband and I decided we'd set a goal to generate $5,000 for the wedding by selling stuff on eBay. This cat is a good start. I found him at Goodwill for $2. I know some plush can be valuable, so I looked up the brand when I saw the tag. 2 previous sales were $123 and a lot of 2 for $175, both new with tag. This warrior cat was pre-owned and hadn't been sold. I decided to put him up as an auction starting at $99. I had an immediate offer of $125, but decided to see where the auction landed. Ended up getting $142.50 for him, with 2 bidders fighting it out at the last minute. Perfect. Now that was good, Stephanie. This is Gray Stripe Warrior Cats plush stuffed animal, rare 14-inch. Gray Stripe is a character. It has like a lightning bolt on the foot. So if you're not familiar with that and you are into selling plush, you might want to look up that brand so that you are familiar with the logo. Marla Marie Williams. Eek! I'm so excited to add myself to this. A friend gave me unwanted items and I sold this Free People dress for my asking price, listed for about 2 weeks. The asking price was $142.97, and this is a Free People Rare Feelings maxi dress size small. So congratulations, Marla, for your first sale over $100 and for making it into the video. Emily Ing bought at an estate sale for $35, their full asking price. Knew it was unusual, so I looked it up. There was one other sold for less, so I took it. Priced it up and sold it for full asking price in 4 days. This is a Style France ski suit, one-piece snowsuit, vintage retro 80s. She paid $35 and sold it for $149. Cynthia Pollock Wilson. I paid 50 cents for this Hallmark power cord at my favorite charity thrift store. I couldn't get it in my basket fast enough. Didn't need to look at comps to know it was something special. Sold for full asking price with free shipping. I paid $8.39 in less than 24 hours. This is Hallmark Keepsake Legacy Power Cord for Vintage Magic Ornaments 2009 and before. She paid 50 cents. It sold for $165. Rhonda Lee Ramsey. I bought one of these Avon Advent calendars when my now 36-year-old son was a child. A few years back, I decided to check eBay comps. My jaw dropped. I've been looking for one to sell since then. In the spring, I found one for $1.99 at Goodwill. It was missing the mouse. I spent a long time there trying to find it, meaning she was looking around the Goodwill to see if the mouse had fallen out somewhere. Not there. I was going to sell it without the mouse, but found a handmade replacement mouse on eBay for $20-ish. I bought it, then listed it, fully disclosing the replacement mouse. It took a couple of months, but sold on a 20% off sale. Okay, so her cost was $1.99 plus the $20 for the mouse. It sold for $168. Avon Vintage Christmas Advent Calendar 1987. Diana Duhan paid $4.99 at Goodwill and took best offer of $170 plus shipping after 3 weeks. Vintage Staffordshire wear pair of porcelain spaniel dog figurines made in England. Doesn't say the size. I'm guessing they're maybe 2 or 3 inches tall. Paid $4.99, took an offer of $170. Wendy Welch. And Wendy, when I saw this sale, I thought, I know I put this in the last video, but it's because you had multiple sets. So here you are again. Wendy said, bought 4 of these, 2 Sunset, 2 a different brand, at a local thrift store for $2 a piece. Sold the first one for $150 and now this one for $175. The last 2 have watchers. So you can see it's a Sunset cross-stitch, stitchery stocking set. Oh, I'm sorry. I stand corrected. It's crewel stitchery, not cross-stitch. Anyway, $2 sold for $175. Linda Fay. I found this at my local thrift store and almost decided to put it back on the shelf because it was dated 2006. I was headed to the checkout when I reevaluated the things in my cart and decided to go ahead and look it up because it was still in its original packaging inside the box. I could hardly believe what I found. There were some which had gone for around $125, but the last one had sold for $175. There was another one listed for $189, so I put mine up for $180 and was prepared to take less, which I would have been thrilled to take less. So, including tax, she paid $1.03 for this. It sold for 180 and it took exactly a week to sell. This is a Hallmark 2006 Baby's First Christmas Rattle Snow Globe Keepsake Ornament. So, Linda, congratulations. And I think it's funny that you almost put it back because it was dated 2006. But that's what you want is the stuff that's older because it's harder to find. So, way to listen to your instincts on that one. Summer welling. At a church yard sale 2 summers ago, I paid $10 for a huge lot of Fontanini figures, accessories, and 4/10 village pieces. This was less than $1. I finally listed the 4/10 last week because I was tired of them taking up space in their huge boxes. This one sold in a week for full price of $184.87. The buyer offered $150 and I was contemplating the offer, but they purchased for full price. I had about 7 watchers and lots of views within a couple of days, so I continued to raise the price. Price started at $125 and I raised it to $184 over 2 days. So when you have watchers, you want to jiggle that price around and try raising it instead of lowering it because that creates a sense of urgency if you're raising the price. So that may cause a little bit of anxiety in your watcher if they really want it and they may buy it at full price. So her initial investment was less than $1 and it sold for $184.87. Okay, Sabina Charles, congratulations, you made it. She had a little trouble getting her sale posted, but we got her to the right place. This is her first $100 and over sale for a newbie. Full set of hardly used Cyclops TV tournament pool balls with a high-end Aramith case from my husband due to downsizing our home. So I'll say free to me. It took about a month of a lot of low ball offers, but finally sold for full asking price of $189 to a buyer in Puerto Rico. It was stressful because some of these low offers had some very pushy comments, borderline rude, attached. I know the retail on this is nearly double, so I politely declined the offers and held out for full price. I have learned so much from the premium library. Thank you, Suzanne. Well, you are welcome, Sabina, and I'm so glad that you had your first $100 plus sale, and the price was actually $189.98 on something that was just already in your house. And that's the way this should work. Get it listed and it will sell. Okay, Bevan Dunn purchased this Club 33 Disney watch as part of a jewelry auction lot last summer. Have about $20 into it. Watch was listed around $225 for 7 months. Sold on best offer for $190. Had lots of scratches on the back, but band and face are very good. Club 33 is the special Disney group you wait years to join, and if you have 10 to 15,000 a year to drop, you can dine in the special restaurants and buy Club 33 merchandise. So you can see there it is a Disney Club 33 limited edition watch, women's black, gold, silver face with leather band. $20 sold for $190. Okay, here's a fun one from Kayla Malone. Originally paid $35 2 years ago. I bought a black cat and ladybug for myself and one extra to hold on to. This show has a cult following and the Funkos have since been vaulted, meaning their value has increased dramatically. All 3 of them sold for over $130 each at different times throughout the year. This particular one is Miraculous Ladybug with Taki Funko Pop. $35, sold for $190. Kim Smith paid $6.48 at Goodwill, sold a few weeks after listing. I was hoping to get closer to $300 and tried going back and forth with buyer, but decided this was good enough. This is a Double D Ranch brown crushed velvet studded maxi duster dress. $6.48, sold for $235. And we have some more paintbrushes. Claire Brockway, a local artist, recently passed away and her sweet husband was giving away all of her stuff for free. She was quite internationally famous, so I found a ton of good stuff. I sold a set of 8 tiny jars of watercolor powders last month for $150 as well. These are 30 Bob Ross new and hardly used paintbrushes. I listed them for $300 and they sold within 2 days for $250. I sent the offer. So this was free to her and it sold for $250, a collection of Bob Ross paintbrushes and knives. Okay, we have Sherry Ogden again. Now, she's in Canada, and these prices are Canadian, but to be honest, I'm just too lazy to convert them to US dollars and put them in the right order. So, if you're outside the US, your price is shown as if it was a US price, but it is a little bit different. Anyway, she says, just sold these beautiful mid-century vases for best offer of $255 Canadian in less than 1 day. I bought them at an online auction for $40 for the pair. I couldn't find exact comps on eBay, so I listed them high at $300. The customer told me one was on his holy grail list and he never thought he would find 2. I love the stories from buyers with vintage items. So this is a rare pair of vintage Asian geisha lady head vase ceramic, marked Japan, 6 inches tall. And she paid $40 and sold them for $255 Canadian. Okay, Angela Perkins got this for free and didn't really know what it was. After doing research, I decided to price high, received a few low offers, and then it sold for full price in just a few days. This is a vintage Hamm's beer growler, 1960s, distributed in Baltimore with the lake scene and bale handle. Sold for $265.99 and she got it for free. Now we have Ann Flood Rice. A friend found this in her grandfather's barn. She was going to throw it away because she thought it was ugly. And I'm going to have to agree with her on that. Glad she said something to me. I took it and listed it high. Got an offer for $275 and took it. Took about 3 months to sell because I had it listed too high and my shipping was way too high. I finally figured out that it came apart, packed it, and the shipping cost came down tremendously. This is a Bradley Hubbard antique smoking floor lamp from the 1920s. And this was free to Anne, and it sold for $275. Brian Rappaport paid $59 at an estate sale, sold for $279.99. This is a 35 millimeter film camera, black with new battery. $60, sold for $280. Jennifer Mueller paid $6 at Salvation Army. Always look up Pizzelle makers. Plug them in to test too. I've purchased one that didn't work. This is a vintage Vita electric Pizzelle made maker, model number 400. $6, sold for $299.99. Dawn McMaster, got from a storage unit buyout, maybe $10, and sold for best offer of 400 in just a few days. This is a vintage Apple II Plus computer with drives and extra bits. That is a very vintage item. I remember learning on Apple computers in ninth grade, and they were just prehistoric dinosaurs. So, yeah, this brings back memories of computer lab, and the only reason I like that class because the boy I had a crush on was in there. So, I was really excited to go to computer lab. Okay, sorry, I digress. Next we have Sophia Gonsalves. Paid $7.99 at Salvation Army, sold in 3 days for best offer of $415. This is a Kitty Cantrell eagle sculpture. $8, sold for $415. Wow. That's just amazing to me. Okay, and our final sale is once again Sherry Ogden in Canada. Bought at auction for $120 and sold overnight for best offer of $500 plus shipping. My biggest sale to date. Congratulations on that, Sherry. I know you've been working really hard on your eBay store, so this was great to see. She also commented that I just want to mention if you can find the teapot like this with the Lefton Japan stamp on the bottom, it's worth $700 or more. Mine did not have that stamp but appears to be made by the same company as an export exclusively for a gift company in Toronto. So the item is vintage Puppy Pal Lefton with question mark ceramic teapot rare. She paid $120 at an auction and it sold in 1 day for $500. Congratulations, Sherry. Now, some exciting news for future video formats. I'm going to start doing a mega sales video, probably no more than once a month, but this will be for sales over $500. I'm seeing so many sales over $500 now that I'm going to consolidate that information and make one video with those mega sales. And don't you love how my fabulous graphic designer put that little cherry on the top of mega as if, yes, this is the cherry on top of eBay sales. These are going to be the really high dollar ones. So I'm going to test that out in a future video and you guys can let me know if you like that idea. I personally am shocked every time I do these videos at what things sell for. So if you like the $100 SuperSize, I feel like you're going to love the $500 mega size sales. Okay, that wraps up another edition of eBay SuperSize sales. Congratulations to everybody who had sales of $100 or more. I'm happy for everybody out there. And if this was your first time posting on the $100 sales thread, special congratulations to you. If you have not had a $100 sale yet, you will. Everybody has their first one, so it could happen tomorrow. It could happen in 5 minutes. Just keep going and you'll get there. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.